Shabbat Shalom. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the High Holy Days are upon us. So maybe in addition to Shabbat Shalom, I should be saying already Lishana Tova, a good and sweet and healthy and happy and fulfilling New Year to everyone. So how does one feel in the run-up to the High Holy Days? I can tell you from the side of the clergy and the staff of Shaarei Tzedek, it's always a time of great anticipation and some stress as well. We are preparing in all different kinds of ways, and in addition to that, there's the usual business of synagogue life that needs to be conducted. But on top of all that, we suffered the loss of a very significant staff member, Rose Matthews, who you probably know from having dealt with her on High Holy Day tickets for the last 15 years. She's been a very important part of our staff, and sudden death due to heart attack at age 58. So how does one deal with something like that? Well, actually, the High Holy Days focus in on that very possibility when they say, who shall live and who shall die? The answer to that question is completely indeterminate. We do not know literally what the next minute or hour or week or month holds in store for us. So, in a sense, you could say that we're always living on the edge, and yet we're normally not aware of that at all. The High Holy Days is a time really to recognize the fact of our mortality, and the fact that really life is delicate, it's hanging by a thread every moment. Or as Rabbi Nachman of Breslov used to put it, we're walking on a narrow bridge. But the important thing is not to be afraid. So that I find is such a brilliant way of putting it. We're walking on this narrow bridge. It's a sudden drop-off to the right. It's a sudden drop-off to the left. But he says the most important thing is not to fear. We just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other in faith that the ground will rise up to meet our feet and that we won't stumble and fall. And yet we have to at least have it in the back of our mind that we could stumble and fall to our death, really, at any particular time. So what do the rabbis suggest that we do about this? There's a very telling teaching in Pirkei Avot, the sayings of the synagogue fathers. They say, repent one day before your death. It's a funny kind of statement. You should repent one day before your death. But if you think about it, who knows when the day of one's death will be? And therefore, if there's something to fix in your life, the time to fix it is right now. If there's apologies to be given, the time to do so is right now. If someone apologizes to you, the time to accept the apology is right now, because who knows how long any of our lives are going to be, and who knows whether or not it'll be too late or not. I remember my last interactions with Rose, and we always had a humorous time together. She had these little devices on her desk that if you pressed them, you'd get maybe 15 seconds of some significant rock and roll hit from the past. I'd always go in there and hit those buttons just for fun, and she always took it in the most good-natured way. But you know, not all of our interactions are so positive, and so if we have outstanding issues with a person, the time to rectify, to fix that issue is always right now, as soon as possible. And since the High Holy Days are coming, we can particularly focus on the fact that we may not have as much time as we think we have to do all that we want to accomplish in our lives. So on that somewhat somber note, again, I want to wish you a very, very happy, healthy, holy, contented, fulfilled New Year of peace for you and your family and for the Jewish people and for the entire world. Hopefully it will be a good year for all. Shana Tova.